Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast for Life. I'm Lisa.
And I'm David. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a really fun episode lined up because the new school year is just around the corner.
That's right. Whether you're a student, a parent, or even a teacher, starting a new school year can feel like a fresh start, but also a little stressful.
Exactly. So today, we're sharing our top 10 tips to get ready for the new school year. We're going to break it all down into simple, practical advice that can make your year smoother, more organized, and maybe even more fun.
I like that because school isn't just about studying. It's about feeling prepared, making new friends, and creating good habits.
And hey, let's be honest. We've all had that moment when the alarm goes off on the first day of school and we're like, wait, already? I'm not ready.
Oh, yes, I remember that feeling. New notebooks still wrapped in plastic, new shoes that don't feel comfortable yet, and that nervous excitement in your stomach.
Exactly. So let's help our listeners avoid the panic this year. Are you ready to dive into our list, Lisa?
I'm ready. Let's get started with tip number 1.
Okay, so our very first tip is simple but powerful. Get organized early.
Yes, don't wait until the night before school starts to throw everything into your backpack.
Exactly. Being organized doesn't just mean having your school supplies. It also means setting up your space, your schedule, and your mindset.
Right. For example, one thing I always did as a student was to prepare my study desk at home. I'd clear away old papers, put my pens and notebooks in order, and make sure I had a little lamp for reading.
That's smart. I used to just toss everything into a drawer and then spend hours searching for my calculator when I needed it.
Classic. But really, when your space is clean and organized, you actually feel calmer. You don't waste time looking for things.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Make a checklist. Before the first day, write down what you need. Notebooks, folders, pens, a backpack, maybe gym shoes. Tick each item off as you prepare it.
Yes. And if you're moving to a new grade or even a new school, think about what's different this year. Do you need bigger binders, a locker lock, maybe a new laptop bag?
Great point. And let's not forget about digital organization too. Nowadays, a lot of schools use online platforms for homework, schedules, and communication.
Oh, yes. So make sure your laptop or tablet is updated, your apps are working, and you know your login details. Nothing's worse than discovering on the first day that you forgot your password.
Been there, done that.
And organization doesn't have to be boring. You can make it fun. Choose notebooks and colors you love or decorate your folders with stickers.
Yes, I remember one of my friends had a bright yellow binder with smiley faces on it, and you could spot it from across the classroom. It actually made her happy to use it.
That's the idea. Organization isn't just about order. It's also about motivation. When you like your supplies and your space, you want to use them.
Absolutely. So, to sum up tip 1, don't wait. Clean your space, prepare your supplies, make a checklist, and get digitally ready.
Exactly. Start early and you'll thank yourself later.
All right, moving on to tip number 2. Fix your sleep schedule.
Oh, yes. This is such an important one. During summer vacation, so many of us stay up late, watching movies, scrolling on our phones, or hanging out with friends.
Exactly. And then suddenly school starts, and you're expected to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. That's a shock to the system.
I remember that first week of school always felt like torture. My eyes wouldn't stay open in class.
Same here. I once fell asleep during math in the second week of school. The teacher called on me to solve an equation, and I had no idea what was happening.
Classic. But that's why getting your sleep schedule back on track before school starts is key.
So what's the best way to do that?
Start adjusting gradually. If you've been staying up until midnight or 1 a.m., try going to bed 15 or 20 minutes earlier each night. Do the same with waking up. Slowly move your body back to a school schedule.
That way, when the first day arrives, your body isn't shocked.
Exactly. And here's another tip. Put your phone away at least 30 minutes before bed. The screen light tricks your brain into staying awake.
True. Instead, you can read a book, listen to some calming music, or even prepare your clothes for the next day.
Yes, that's what I used to do. I'd set out my outfit for school the night before. It gave me a little sense of control, and it made the morning smoother.
Nice. And let's be real. Being rested makes everything better. Your mood, your focus, even how you get along with classmates.
Absolutely. Sleep is like magic fuel for your brain.
So tip 2 is, don't wait until the night before school starts. Fix your sleep schedule early so you're fresh, alert, and ready to go.
Okay, now on to tip number 3. Plan your daily routine.
This is where organization and sleep kind of connect, right?
Exactly. Having a daily routine means you don't waste energy every morning deciding what to do next.
Right. For example, in high school, my routine was wake up, shower, quick breakfast, check my backpack, and then out the door.
That's a good routine. Mine was wake up, get dressed, feed my cat, have breakfast, brush my teeth, and then walk to school.
Nice. And routines aren't just for mornings. You can also plan after-school routines.
Yes, like when do you do homework? When do you relax? Do you have any sports or clubs?
I remember when I joined the basketball team, my whole routine had to change. I'd finish practice around 6 p.m., and then I had to shower, eat, and then do homework.
Exactly. And if you don't think about your routine in advance, you can end up feeling overwhelmed.
And let's not forget about weekends. Having a bit of structure, even on weekends, helps you balance fun and rest.
Totally. And here's something practical. Write your routine down for the first week. You don't have to keep it forever, but seeing it on paper makes it real.
Yes. Or put it in your phone calendar with reminders. That way, your phone gives you a little nudge when it's time to start homework or get ready for bed.
Good idea. And don't forget to leave space for breaks. A routine shouldn't be just work, work, work.
Definitely. Breaks help you recharge. Even 15 minutes to stretch, have a snack, or text a friend can make a big difference.
Exactly. So, to sum up tip 3, create a morning routine and an after-school routine that fit your life. Write it down or use reminders, and don't forget to include downtime.
That way, you'll feel balanced, not stressed.
Okay, we've covered organization, sleep, and routine. I think our listeners are already starting to feel more prepared.
Yeah, these first 3 tips are like the foundation. Once you've got those, everything else becomes easier. All right, Lisa, time for tip number 4. Eat well and stay healthy.
Oh yes, food is fuel. If you don't eat properly, you can't focus in class. You feel tired, and even your mood gets worse.
Totally true. I remember in high school, I often skipped breakfast. I thought it would save me time. But then by 10 a.m., I was starving and couldn't think about anything except food.
Yup, I've been there. Breakfast really does make a difference. It doesn't have to be fancy. Even something simple like a banana, yogurt, or a piece of toast can give you energy.
Exactly. And for lunch, try to pack something balanced. A sandwich with some protein, maybe some fruit, and water.
Water is so important. People forget to drink enough water during the school day. Carrying a refillable water bottle is one of the smartest habits you can build.
Yes, I used to bring one, and it kept me awake in those long afternoon classes.
And let's talk about snacks. Everyone loves snacks, right?
Oh, definitely. But there's a big difference between eating chips and eating, say, nuts.
Exactly. I'm not saying you can never have chips or cookies, but if you rely on sugary snacks every day, you're going to crash later.
Right. A sugar rush feels good for 10 minutes, then you feel sleepy.
So the smart move is mix it up. Pack some healthy snacks you actually like. Apple slices, granola bars, or even popcorn can be good choices.
And let's not forget exercise. Staying healthy isn't just about food. Join a sport or even just walk to school if you can.
Totally. Moving your body helps your brain too.
So, to sum up tip 4, eat breakfast, pack healthy snacks, drink water, and get some exercise. Your body and brain will thank you.
Okay, moving on to tip number 5. Review last year's material.
This one is huge. Summer vacation is great, but let's be honest, we forget a lot.
Oh, yes. I always noticed that the first month of school was basically a catch-up month. Teachers would review things we were supposed to already know.
Exactly. And if you take just a little time before school starts to review, you'll feel much more confident.
So how should students review?
Well, you don't need to study for hours. Even looking back at your notes from the last semester for 20 minutes a day can help.
Or do some practice problems. For example, if math is tricky for you, solve a few equations each day. If you're learning history, read a quick summary of the main events.
I used to reread my essays from last year. It helps me remember what my teachers wanted in writing.
That's a smart idea. And for languages, even reviewing vocabulary flashcards or watching a movie in that language helps wake your brain back up.
Yes, the key is not to wait until the teacher suddenly says, "Okay, let's continue where we left off." If you've done a little review, you'll feel like, "Hey, I remember this."
Exactly. And it makes the transition back to school so much smoother.
I think it also shows teachers that you're serious. When they see you're prepared, they trust you more.
That's a good point. Teachers can tell who has prepared and who hasn't.
So, tip 5 is, spend a little time reviewing your notes, books, or assignments from last year. Even just a few days before school starts can make a big difference.
Yes, you don't need to study all summer, but refreshing your memory is super helpful.
Okay, Lisa, that's tip 4 and tip 5. We've now covered half of our list.
Wow, time flies when you're sharing good advice.
So far, we've got get organized, fix your sleep schedule, plan your routine, eat well, and review last year's material.
That's a strong foundation. After a short break, we'll dive into tip 6 and tip 7, which are all about people and relationships.
Ooh, that sounds good.
All right, time for tip number 6. Make an effort to build friendships.
This one is so important. School isn't just about classes and homework. It's also about people.
Absolutely. Friends can make your school year enjoyable, supportive, and less stressful.
I remember my first year at a new school, I didn't know anyone. It felt scary walking into the cafeteria alone.
Oh, I've been there too. It's one of the toughest moments, right? But then you talk to someone and suddenly things feel lighter.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Making friends often starts with small steps.
Yes, like smiling, saying hi, or asking a simple question. Hey, what class do you have next?
Or even giving a small compliment. I like your backpack. It opens the door to conversation.
Another great tip is to join clubs, sports, or activities. That way you meet people with similar interests.
Yes. When I joined the chess club, I suddenly had a whole group of friends who loved the same thing I did.
Same for me with the drama club. We spent hours rehearsing together, and those people became some of my closest friends.
And let's not forget, friendships don't always happen instantly. Sometimes it takes a few weeks before you really connect with someone.
Exactly. So be patient, but also be open. Don't shut yourself off.
And one last thing, be kind to everyone, not just the people you want to be friends with. A smile or a kind word can make someone's whole day.
Yes, and kindness often comes back to you. So to sum up tip 6, take small steps, join activities, and be open and kind. Friendships will follow.
All right, let's talk about tip number 7. Get to know your teachers.
This is such a valuable tip. A lot of students see teachers only as authority figures, but really, they're people who want to help you.
Yes, when you build a positive relationship with your teachers, everything gets easier. Asking questions, getting advice, even enjoying the class.
Totally. I remember one teacher I was scared of at first. She seemed strict, but once I asked her for help after class, she turned out to be super friendly and supportive.
Same here. I had a math teacher who looked very serious, but when I stayed after class to ask about homework, he explained it patiently and even told a funny story about how he failed a math test once.
Wow, I love that. Teachers really appreciate it when students show effort and interest.
And it doesn't take much. Just greet them when you enter class, say thank you when they hand back your work, or ask a thoughtful question.
Exactly. You don't need to be the teacher's pet. Just be respectful, curious, and open.
And if you're struggling in a subject, don't wait until it's too late. Talk to your teacher early.
Yes, teachers can give extra resources, explain things differently, or suggest tutoring.
And here's a bonus. When teachers know you're engaged, they often write better recommendation letters later for college or jobs.
That's so true. Building those connections can help way beyond the school year.
So, tip 7 is don't be afraid of your teachers. Get to know them, be respectful, and ask for help when you need it.
Wow, I really love these 2 tips. They remind me how much school is about relationships, not just textbooks.
Yes, tip 6 and tip 7 are all about people, friends, and teachers. If you have good connections, school becomes a much better place.
Exactly. And next, we'll shift gears again and talk about how to manage your mindset and stress levels with tips 8 and 9.
That's going to be helpful for a lot of students.
For sure. We'll be back after a short break.
All right, time for tip number 8. Start with a positive mindset.
This one is so powerful. How you think about the school year really shapes your experience.
Totally. If you go in thinking, this year is going to be awful, then everything feels heavier.
Exactly. But if you approach it like, okay, this year's a new chance, I can try new things, meet new people, and learn something useful, suddenly it feels exciting.
I remember one year when I switched my mindset. Normally, I dreaded math class, but I decided to think of it as a puzzle instead of a boring subject. And honestly, I started to enjoy it more.
That's a great example. Sometimes just changing your perspective makes things less stressful.
And it's not about pretending school is perfect. There will be challenges, but a positive mindset helps you handle them better.
Yes, for example, instead of saying, I'm bad at science, you can say, science is hard for me right now, but I can improve.
That little shift in language makes a huge difference.
And here's a practical idea. Write down 3 goals for the year. They don't have to be huge. Maybe I want to read more books, or I want to join 1 new club, or I want to sit closer to the front in class.
Nice! Small, clear goals give you direction and keep you motivated.
And whenever you achieve one, celebrate it. That keeps the positive energy flowing.
So tip 8 is choose to start the year with a positive outlook, set small goals, and remind yourself that challenges are opportunities to grow.
Okay, moving on to tip number 9. Manage stress and stay balanced.
Yes, stress. Every student knows what that feels like.
Oh, for sure. Between homework, exams, sports, and social life, it can get overwhelming.
I remember one semester when I took on too many activities. I was on the soccer team, in the school play, and also trying to keep up with honors classes. I barely slept.
Wow, that sounds exhausting.
I ended up burned out by mid-semester.
That's such a good example of why balance is key. You can't do everything. Sometimes you have to choose what matters most.
Exactly. So how can students manage stress better?
First, use your planner or calendar. Writing down deadlines and activities helps you see what's coming, instead of being surprised.
Yes. When you can see your week ahead, it feels less scary.
Second, don't forget to take breaks. Even 10 minutes to breathe, stretch, or listen to music can reset your brain.
I used to take short walks around the block when I felt stuck on homework. It worked wonders.
That's a great strategy. And third, talk to someone when you feel stressed. A friend, a parent, or even a teacher. Sharing your worries makes them lighter.
Absolutely. Bottling up stress just makes it worse.
And don't forget healthy habits we already mentioned. Sleep, food, and exercise. They all help reduce stress.
Right. Sometimes people think, I don't have time to sleep because I have too much to do. But actually, sleeping more makes you more efficient.
Exactly. So tip 9 is plan ahead, take breaks, talk about your stress, and keep healthy habits. Balance is the key.
Okay, Lisa, that's tip 8 and tip 9. We're almost at the finish line.
Yes, we've covered mindset, stress, routines, health, friends, teachers, so many important areas.
Which means the only thing left is our final tip, tip 10.
Right, and it's a really fun one. It's about celebrating the start of the school year in your own way.
I like the sound of that, but let's continue after a short break.
Agreed. One more tip to go. Okay, here we are. Tip number 10. Celebrate the start of the school year.
I love this one. Too often, people only think about the stress of going back to school, but it can actually be something to celebrate.
Exactly. A new school year is like a fresh page in a notebook, clean, full of possibilities.
So how do you celebrate it?
Well, it can be different for everyone. Maybe you buy yourself a small treat, like a new notebook with a cool design.
Or go out for ice cream with your friends after the first day.
Yes, or even do something simple at home, like having a special dinner with your family the night before school starts.
I love that. My family used to order pizza on the first day of school. It was our little tradition.
That's such a fun idea. Traditions like that turn what could be a stressful time into something you actually look forward to.
And it doesn't have to be big or expensive. The point is to mark the occasion. To say, hey, this is the start of something new and I'm ready.
Exactly. Celebrating makes the school year feel special instead of scary.
And you can keep the celebration going too, like checking in with yourself after the first week and rewarding yourself for surviving it.
Yes, sometimes just making it through week 1 deserves a celebration.
Absolutely. So tip 10 is, find your own way to celebrate the start of school. Create a tradition that makes it feel positive and exciting.
And that's it, our top 10 tips to get ready for the new school year.
Let's do a quick recap for our listeners.
Sure, here we go. Get organized early. Fix your sleep schedule. Plan your daily routine. Eat well and stay healthy. Review last year's material. Make an effort to build friendships. Get to know your teachers. Start with a positive mindset. Manage stress and stay balanced. Celebrate the start of the school year.
Wow, that's a strong list.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, you don't have to do them all perfectly. Even just following a few of these tips will make your school year smoother.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection.
And remember, every school year is a new opportunity. You get to start fresh, try new things, and grow as a person.
That's the best part. Each year is a new chapter in your story.
Well said, David.
Thank you, Lisa. And thank you to everyone listening. We hope these tips help you feel prepared and excited for the new school year.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it with a friend who might need some back-to-school motivation.
Absolutely. We'll be back soon with more conversations and advice for life and learning.
Until then, good luck with your new school year. You've got this.
Take care, everyone.